Oh, you're not? Okay, then we'll just start when you're ready.
Filming yet?
Yeah. But we can edit this out.
Okay.
Maybe. We're ready now.
Okay. So what is your name?
Benjamin Paul Steiger.
Paul Allen Rowe.
Donna Gail Vibber Rowe.
Whenever you're ready.
Greg William Steiger.
John August Steiger.
My name is Carol Beth Rose Steiger. You know what? Actually, was my finger was on the Zoom button.
Gwen Ellen Rowe Branstead.
How do you know me?
Well, let's see. I met you a number of years ago when you were about that high. And my granddaughter.
I'm your father.
I am your mom.
You are my favorite niece.
You are my granddaughter, the daughter of my youngest daughter.
You're my sister.
I don't know you.
No, like, how do you know me? How are you related to me?
Oh, you're my sister.
When were you born?
In 1928.
I was born on February 21st, 1930, long time ago.
February 12th, 1957.
February 9th, 1966.
June 21st, 1966.
April 20th, 1999.
August 17th, 2001.
And where did you grow up?
I grew up in Onalaska, Wisconsin.
Nisswa, Minnesota.
In Stanley, Wisconsin.
In Elyria, Ohio.
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Well, I've grown up in a lot of places. Brainerd, Minneapolis, and Minnetonka.
Alaska, Wisconsin, and then Menominee, Wisconsin.
Was there ever a time you got in trouble that you want to share?
Probably. I don't think I was ever in trouble. Yes, I was. I don't know. I used to be sassy. Yeah, I'd get really sassy and my mother would be very, very angry with me. And she would use a yardstick on my bottom.
Oh, no, I was a perfect child. And I lied a lot. You want to know when I was in trouble?
Sure.
One time I was in trouble. I was in the study hall in high school. I was a freshman. And I made a paper airplane and threw it across the room. And I was stupid enough to use a piece of paper that had my name on it. So I got called into the principal's office.
Yes.
You want to share it?
I remember one time coming home from school and eating some cereal, and I left the bowl on the counter, and my dad came home and asked me if it was my bowl, and I told him it wasn't. He quickly realized it was because the milk was still cold and I was the only one there. So he made me clean it up and spanked me for lying. Actually kicked me in the butt, but it hurt. He didn't like it when I lied.
Not in huge trouble.
I don't know. You know, I got in trouble a lot just for like talking a lot and goofing around, and sadly to say, even in church I would get in trouble because my friends Linda and Laura were in choir with me, and the choir loft happened to be in front of the church, and so we'd always be laughing and giggling at inappropriate times in church. And so after church was over and we get home, Grandpa would not be happy with me. So.
Right. I was in the junior choir down in the front of the church in the pews, and my sisters were up in the balcony in the senior choir, and I knew they were looking at me, so I purposely started to wiggle my ears, and that got them giggling and laughing, and so they got in trouble with my dad when we got home, and then they told him what happened, and then I got in trouble.
Oh, there were many times that I got in trouble. One that just came to mind was when I was in maybe 5th or 6th grade, and my buddies and I were going to ride our bikes over to the farm where our 5th grade teacher, so I must have been in 6th grade, our 5th grade teacher lived. We were going to ride our bikes over and visit Mrs. Hansen. And it was a Saturday, early afternoon, and I hadn't done my Saturday chores. So my friends were at the back door, and Grandma wouldn't let me go because I hadn't done my chores. And I was really mad, and I happened to have a marble in my hand, and I threw it, and of course it ricocheted all over and managed to break a cut glass thing that Grandma really liked.
Not good.
No,
No.
not good. I didn't go for that bike ride.
What is your favorite memory?
Favorite memory? I remember taking some fun trips with my mom and dad. And we took a couple that were to some warm places in like the Caribbean, and those were a lot of fun. I remember not wanting to ever leave. I wanted to stay there forever. So I was a little sad when we had to go home.
What I remember most about growing up in church was music. I really, even like the cherub choir, the cherub choir and Mrs. Zelke, and I'm a sap. And then playing, I can remember playing piano and organ duets with Gail. And that was really fun because I would be down below, or I would be on one side playing the piano and Gail was on the other side playing the organ. And we would have fun practicing them and playing them. So my biggest memories in church were about the music.
We were talking about this earlier. It's like there was this guy named Mr. Brutus, and I remember him every Sunday. He'd give me his hand, like he was going to shake my hand, and he'd give me a butterscotch candy every Sunday. So I love church.
Fair Hills. Yeah.
Okay.
Growing up it's a small town, but a lot of relatives around, and just having my own family, my grandpa and grandma across the street, and cousins, and stuff, being surrounded by family, and that's always been very, very close to me.
I have lots of favorite memories. Some of the best memories when I was growing up were slumber parties. We were in what we called the Jill's Club. And there were 16 of us. And we would have slumber parties. We would also sponsor dances at the Elks Club. And at some of those dances, my brother had his own dance band. So he would come and he played the piano in his dance band, and they would play all the Glenn Miller stuff. That was really fun.
Boy, what would be a favorite memory? Playing the piano, or practicing my piano, and having Grandpa come home and kind of give me a pat on the head.
You know, because I was the baby of 7 kids, and my brothers and sisters were kind of older than me. My favorite memories would be when they came home from college, because I was, I don't know, it was just fun, and they gave me all sorts of attention, and I remember when they left, and I would like be crying for 2 days because I missed my brothers and sisters.
We're on pause. We're on pause.
Do you have any questions for God?
Yes. Yeah, I have some whys. Some things that I'd have difficult time understanding. The biggest why, I guess, is the death of our oldest child, Gail. Why? When she was 34 and had 3 young children. You know, there's a lot of things like that that I don't fully understand. So I've got some questions.
My one question is, your Aunt Gail died. And, she died when she was 34 and was married and had 3 kids, and I was asking why he took her. Because she was like my second mom too. She was 12 years older, and she would always give me a hug and say everything was going to be okay. Anyways, I just ask why he took her from us. So that's my question.
I have a lot. Well, there's just so many things about this world that are so hard to understand. When you know people are hurting, and then we go to church and we hear about a loving God. It's hard to understand that and make that work. That's my main question.
Questions for God? I have lots of questions for God. But I also think he's probably got a lot for me. But I guess my main question for God is it's not a question as much as it is a thanksgiving. Just to thank him for loving me. To thank him for loving each of our children and our grandchildren, taking care of them. Mm-hmm. I might question him for taking my oldest daughter when she was still a young mother. But he has taken care of that family too, so we can be thankful.
I would like to know where my dad is, and if I'll ever get to see him again. That'd be my first question. And, is he seeing us, and is he around? That's probably the most specific question I would have.
What advice would you give Abby at this time?
What advice? Be open. Don't think that you ever have all the answers. Reach out and treat others with concern and patience.
Well, my general advice in life is to not do things or not make decisions that you think are the right thing to do because of what your parents did or maybe your brothers or sisters did. So in other words, if everybody went to a particular school or ended up marrying somebody at a certain time, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the right thing for you. So you have to live your own life and then not feel like you have to do it a certain way, because there's no right way to live your life. So you should do what's best for you and not worry about what other people might think.
My advice is to remember that God is always with her. His promises are to love her, to support her, and to give her the strength and the confidence to do whatever she is going to be able to do. And he'll never let anything happen to you that He won't also give you the strength to endure.
Just be yourself. I'm probably gonna like kind of review all the other advice that you've been getting, but be yourself, be true to yourself. You don't have to follow the crowd, just know in your heart that you're doing the right thing. And yeah, whenever you're struggling, you know, you always have the church, you have God, you have the Bible, and you have us to talk to, all these wonderful people that love you. And know that you're always loved.
You know, you've gotten some really good advice so far, and it's been really fun listening to your interviews. The main thing, from a faith perspective, just to always remember, how do I put this? Church is really for sinners. And so if at any time you are thinking you lowest of low, oh, sorry. God, pause it. Whenever you feel like you're at the lowest of low, or you're not worthy, or things are not going well, that's the place to go. That's what it's for.
Can I sing a song for you that I learned when I was in Sunday school? Into my heart, come into my heart, Lord Jesus. Come in today, come in to stay, come into my heart, Lord Jesus.